What's good, folks? Welcome to the unorganized world of SilentMode, maker, artist, and LEGO enthusiast. Hi there, Alexandria. So tonight I decided at long last I'm going to try and put together this lighting kit in a rather inconspicuous box for my minifigure vending machine. I bought it a while ago and it's just been sitting there, and I thought now was the time to do it. I am just trying to get the instructions, which I have to get by scanning this QR code. Unfortunately, my phone is playing up, so give me just a second. In the meantime, I guess I can show you what is in this box. And by the way, there's a link to the lighting kit that I bought in the description on AliExpress for anybody who's interested. It comes in this box. You won't be able to tell immediately what it is. I'm going to guess it's the same for whichever lighting kit you get. But inside the box you get this pamphlet, and then obviously the QR code you have to scan to get the instructions. It just gives you some information about the tiny connectors that you'll get as part of this lighting kit, and not much else. It's in... yeah, there's a few translations in different languages. And so in this kit we have, I think it's a battery box. We have all kinds of, that's a USB connector. Thank you very much, Odelay, aka Zero Delay. If you happen to like what you see tonight, make sure you leave a like. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. All that good stuff that people have to say in order to be considered a YouTuber, but I appreciate it. This is one of the LEDs. It's a neon style LED. We've got a couple of them here. I think there are some smaller lights, some connectors, and what is this? I have no idea. Maybe some more LEDs. But yes, I'm just trying to get the instructions so I can start. I ought to have done this before, and I'm pretty sure I did. I just don't know where the download is. But while I'm looking for this, I hope everybody is doing alright, as I usually say, and certainly better than I am. Let's see, just scrolling through the list. You'll be taken to a page that looks like this, and you just got to find the set number. In the meantime, I am doing all right. I have been, well, what can I say? This year has gotten off to a much better start than last year. My head has just been bursting with all kinds of ideas, and you've seen a few of them. But I have been a little bit overwhelmed as of late. I haven't been particularly motivated to actually continue with anything, but the desire to complete things is still there. There's a lot of lighting kits in this list. I'm gonna have to try and find it. Good to hear you're okay, Alexandria. Hope Zero Delay is alright as well. I think that's it. No. Yeah, I'm really struggling to find the instructions on this. I ought to have done this before I started this live stream, but you know what? That's what happens sometimes. Okay, I think I got it now. No? Yeah, this site isn't particularly friendly. What can I talk about in the meantime? I have heard about some new releases for this year. I think there are some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of the blue. I think, well, I've heard about Shrek. there was some mention of a future collectible minifigure series. I've seen pictures of an orange cat LEGO idea set, and I'm just curious as to whether the creator of the original LEGO ideas set is going to get double commission. So if I didn't know any better, I'd say that LEGO is starting to get into the whole color swap thing, because I told the world it was okay, or at least that's what I told myself. And all in all, I am still not excited about anything, and it's probably a good thing, because I try not to buy as much LEGO. Well, the orange cat, from what I could see, is basically a color swap of the original tuxedo cats. Unless I'm missing something. Excuse me. How's it going, Hoarder? Just getting ready to copy over the instructions, which I've managed to download at long last. And I've just got to send it to my computer. Try and send, well, I try to send it via Bluetooth. This new phone I have is really getting on my nerves. But I also have to ask why they couldn't send me the instructions by computer like a normal person. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. It's the same pose. I suppose you could, no pun intended, I suppose you could move the head if you wanted to count that as a different pose. But yeah. Oh, that's not particularly helpful. Yeah, sorry about this. It's taking a lot longer than I expected. I'd have to make this Bluetooth stuff so complicated. Okay, there we go. I copied the link to the downloads. Yeah, I think they may have started something with those cats. I mean, it was the tuxedo cat was very popular. I just think this is the wrong approach by LEGO. They've been doing a lot of wrong approaches, in my opinion, but they won't listen to me unless it's to steal ideas. And Hoarder, I can completely relate. All my rooms are a complete mess right now. I just haven't gotten around to organizing anything. Let's see. I've sent myself the link to the download. There we go. Off. Well, I still have to get myself a desk. I've only got this table at the moment, and it's wobbly. In the background there, you probably can't see it, but I've got a sofa that I have to get rid of, and that's where I'm going to put my new desk. But getting rid of the sofa is the hard part. How's it going, Film Bricks? already spent 10 minutes trying to download the instructions for this thing, and I finally got it. So let's get started. Again, one of the annoying things is that they decided you have to scan a QR code to download the instructions for this thing. Why couldn't they just include a link? I have no idea. Anyway, let's go. Anyhow, I hope you're doing alright, Film Bricks. Wait a minute. Nope. It's all good. Alright, let's get started. So there's no text in these instructions that I've just downloaded. Excuse me. They just give you a bill of materials and some pictures. Hello there, never too old. How are you doing? Okay, that's not particularly clear, but I think we are meant to take off this wall here, first of all. It does suggest you use a brick separator, but for all the brick separators I have lying around, I don't have any to hand, so I'm gonna have to go old school and try and get this thing off with my fingers. Hello there, JDP. There we go. Excuse me. My goodness. Alright, so taking this wall off, and let's see. I guess this is the first thing we're going to have to add. Anyway, I hope the newcomers are doing alright. Hope you had a good day today. So we have a few of these LEDs here. And I'm going to have to zoom in on these pictures. I just hope I get it right. Right, so one of these is going to thread in through here, I guess. Doesn't say exactly where it should go. I'm going to put it underneath this thing here. Okay. So this one, excuse me. Right, this one is going to light up this tray. So I guess I'm going to start by peeling off this adhesive tape, and then as carefully as I can trying to stick it to this thing. Oh yeah, congratulations on the new cat, never too old, the new kitten. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's meant to go through here. Yeah, I was wondering what that link, or who the person behind the link that Never Too Old sent earlier was in context, and yeah, it appears to be a previously undiscovered person. But no, I think it's great to be absolutely honest. It's a bit early to tell whether anybody new who gets introduced is a good person or not, but I got hopes. I'm somewhat optimistic. Yeah, this light is actually quite long. Did I use the right one? I think they're pretty much all the same length. Okay, I think I used the wrong one here, but it doesn't say. I guess I have to use my brain. Fortunately, I haven't fully committed yet. Hello, one brick at a time. Welcome back. Well, Hoarder, I don't know how big your room is, but you've set yourself a mammoth task there, and hopefully you'll accomplish it. There's another bag here full of this, well, similar LEDs. This is probably what I wanted to use. Okay, this is it. This is a shorter one. And I think that is the one I am meant to use. So that goes through here. And just peel off this adhesive tape. Yeah, I should start using Instagram again. I don't think I've actually posted anything since the start of the year. I don't recall doing it anyway. Alright, let's see if I can get at least one LED down before the hour is up. So what I can immediately tell is that these LEDs are warm whites, and I would have preferred cool whites. I think it goes better with black and white, but worst case scenario, I can probably switch them out once I've figured out how to put these together. And that's the first one. That was a lot of effort. Okay. All that work for one LED. Alright. So now we take this second one. And we take one of these longer ones. Put these over here. And this longer one goes around the outside of the bottom. That is okay. You guys are having fun there. Does it go all the way around? Yes, it does. It goes around this side. Okay. And the shorter one makes up the space on this side, I think. Yeah. It's not particularly pretty, this solution, but yeah. Again, once I've figured out how this works, I can probably improve on it at a later date. Yeah. Is it an exact recolor? What do you mean by an exact recolor? It's basically well, I call it a color swap of the official LEGO version, in that all the red parts were exchanged for black. Yes, it is. That's right. So yeah, it's the official set. It's the actual LEGO set, and all the Halo Wolf, all the red parts were changed to black because yeah, exactly, film bricks. Okay, so this longer one, second longer one, goes at the top and it starts somewhere around here. I'm going to assume it starts where this plate starts. Yeah, let me know in the comments what your favorite black jokes are. Yeah, this thing is so black it's no longer an apple. Okay, that wasn't a particularly good one. You want all the red rounded parts from the set. Well, actually, I have just a couple of days ago, I've put all the red parts as a lot on eBay because I've got no use for any of them. Maybe, I don't know what somebody would use them for, but it's there for the taking. And we will see if it goes for anything and what it goes for. Yeah, that's about right. I would certainly think that if I can, if I do decide to swap these LEDs out, I'd opt to have longer ones. Alexandria knows dirty jokes. My goodness. I thought I knew you. Well, an idea for perhaps Film Bricks could do a making of ASMR video if you haven't already. Making of videos tend to do quite well, I'd say. All right. What do you call 100 politicians in the bottom of a river? An improvement, I suppose, or something like that. That's what I call them. Now, for some reason, one of the steps is taking this this lid off, but we're not doing anything inside just yet. We're going to use this longest strip and put it around the outside here. My goodness, I don't know if you guys listen to anything to do with US politics, but it is a mess what's going on. And I mean, I only watch snippets of news broadcasts on YouTube, but there's all kinds of hyperbole on both sides, and it's really difficult to tell what to believe. It gives me a headache just thinking about it. By the way, I did watch Never Too Old's debut on Clicking and Bricking. And I thought it was way too short, but it's great that you were able to do that. I watched it in the early hours of this morning. I think that's right. Yeah, that's the conclusion I came to. Both sides are, I mean, there's truth and there's lies on both sides. I think it's really short-sighted and small-minded to believe that one side has the monopoly on the truth. But it's so easy to get caught up in that stuff, I find. Alright, we're meant to lift this tile, I think. Is that right? And I think this wire goes through here for some reason. That is probably why they've used such thin wires. Yeah, I know a lot of people lose their heads when it comes to those kind of conversations. But how did Never Too Old do on his Clicking and Bricking debut? What did you guys think? Let's put these empty bags to the side, and now we need some kind of, okay, one of these, I think. Different kinds of LEDs. Well, I thought it was really good. It was too short, but it was really good. Right, what have we got there? So we have a couple of these. Which are basically a pair of LEDs, and we need something to connect them with. It's in one of these bags. I'm pretty sure it's this bag. You know, that Clicking and Bricking reminded me of that show format reminded me of another YouTube channel. I'm not going to say the name because to heck with them, basically. But they used to interview different people involved in the Lego hobby, and it was basically a platform for them to advertise themselves, which is, I think, is a really cool thing to do. I'm just trying to understand this thing here. I don't quite know what's going on. But yeah, yeah, the video is up on somebody's channel if you guys want to have a look. Oh, I see what it is now. So we have this long, I think it's 30 centimeter cable, or at least that's what it suggests it is. Yeah, it's about 30 centimeters. So we have this one, and this connects to one of these lights. Just gotta be very careful how to plug it in. Really, really tiny plugs. There we go. And then we take one of these shorter ones, which is about 15 centimeters, connect it to the other side. And then this last end connects to the other LED. Maybe my brain is off today, but I had a little bit of difficulty understanding this part. Anyway, starting from this end here, let's bring the camera up slightly. We plug this into, do we plug this into here? I believe so. But yeah, you carried yourself really well, never too old. And I'm not just saying that. I thought you did a really good job, but I would have expected nothing less. Okay, that's one of the things, and I am going to guess they want me to stick this underneath here on this support. You're trying to be on good behavior, eh? And Alexandria, it's been a while since I've made popcorn. You've given me an idea there. Maybe, just maybe. Alright, so I think this light is meant to be attached here. I'm not going to do that just yet though. And yep. Then we take off this boat stud here, and we okay, let's try this. I'm not sure about this because it suggests that this red and black cable goes underneath here. I don't know. Okay, I think I understand. So if I make a loop like this, something like this, and then reattach this so that these cables are tucked underneath. Let's put that there for the time being. And yeah. Guess that will hold it in place. If I had another set, well, I don't have to go as far as getting another set, although I have been tempted to try another color swap with, well, certainly not another official set, maybe another one of these AliExpress sets. But all I'd have to do is find some more of these, big panels, and then maybe some more of these transparent plates, and that would make it taller. It would depend on which colors are available for each of these bits, although maybe mixing different greens would be a good idea, perhaps. Hello, Owen. Whoops. Yeah, I gotta say, these aren't the clearest of instructions, so I can see somebody really struggling with this. Yeah, weathered look would be quite simple to pull off, actually, and that would lend itself really well to using third-party elements, I think. Hey, thank you, Owen. Thanks once again, Owen, I should say. Right, so I'm going to assume that these lights go. Oh, I've dropped the boat stud in there. I'm going to assume that these lights go on these grey wedge plates. And then if I go underneath like this, that would fit like that. Yes, indeed. W. Owen, thank you. Alright. I was meant to post some pictures of the other models, but I will get around to doing that. I've just got to figure out how to do this. I think I've got it now. So what I'm going to do is a bravery test and try and stick this on. Yeah, what I really should be doing is posting a lot of this stuff on social media, whether it's shorts or Instagram or whatever. I haven't been doing that so far. I did, excuse me. I did post a short of this vending machine. Just a simple 10-second short, and in my opinion it should have gone viral. It didn't. That's fine. But I think even more than that, I've got to get into the habit of posting things. Yeah, that's cool. That's another thing I was meant to have done, is post instructions for at least one of my models. And I'm about 90-something% of the way there. I just have to not be so lazy. You don't want to go viral filling bricks. Well, I think it's nice to have it happen maybe once, just to have the experience. But this is what I meant when I said that excuse me. Oh, very funny filling bricks. I'm going to say it anyway, though. This is what I meant when I said that I reject the term content creator. It's the difference between making videos with the intention of going viral and making videos because you want to show people what you can do. I'm gonna have to recover that boat stud that dropped into the machine. So. There we go. But yeah, seriously, I would certainly suggest. I mean, not that it's well, it may not be feasible for everybody, but I would like everybody to experience going, in quotes, viral just once, just to see what it's like, just to have that that experience. And it's great if it happens, but it's also better when it just happens, if you understand what I mean. And yeah, you know, one of the I call it a shaming tactic, but one of the shaming tactics people like to use, excuse me, one of the shaming tactics people like to use is asking you the question, would you watch your own videos? And I say, of course I would watch my own videos. But it's with, they usually ask the question with the aim of framing it as, well, your videos are crap, your videos aren't what other people want to watch. It's not particularly supportive. But no, in all seriousness, I make the kind of videos for the most part that I want to watch, and I try to show the things that I enjoy doing and I think other people would find interesting. But I also have to acknowledge that I am a completely different person to most people. You had difficulty finding no talking ASMR. That's actually quite surprising, but you know, I definitely respect the fact that you went out and started creating, or you went and started creating it. I like that approach. If you can't find it, then make your own, or if you don't like what's already out, then create it yourself. Well, I find, and I had an example of this back in December actually, and it's a shame that it happens. I find that people who say those things and use those tactics, they are wedded to the idea of first of all conforming, and second of all wanting to see you fail. Owen just reminded me, I was at the Leicester Square Lego store yesterday, and I've got to put out a video about the parts on the pad wall. Completely forgot about it today because I've been occupied with other things. But yeah, I'd recommend the Leicester Square store just as a one-off, really, just as a touristy thing to do in London. But I actually don't like going to that store because it's so touristy, and you probably won't have any interactions with the staff. And that should be one of the great things about going to a Lego store, is having interactions with the staff. Hey Demos, I can never say that properly. But yeah, as Alexandria says, it definitely helps to be supportive as well. And I say that, you know, it would be maybe not so much going viral every day, but becoming successful at what you do. But if you can't be successful at what you do, then I say support people who can. I'll tell you guys a funny story actually. I remember hearing all kinds of stories back when I was in high school about people who had these really lofty dreams about becoming, for example, a footballer or a famous person. And they're on their way, they do everything they can to become a famous footballer or what have you. But then something happens and they can no longer do it. And there's usually a happy ending at the end of it, to where they turn things around and find themselves doing something else. For example, the wannabe football player becoming a coach or a manager. When I was younger, I always thought that was actually a really tragic story, because they wanted something so bad and they had to settle for something else. But that's actually not a bad thing at all. I don't think it's a bad thing. Well, it's something that I had to realize as I got older. I think it's perfectly fine to pivot. So they've introduced a transparent 1x1 stud. I'm just checking to see if they've included one in this set. Owen says this sounds like a podcast. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. But no, I'm just, you know, while you guys are watching me struggle with this lighting kit, I'm just airing some family-friendly thoughts. We've got a battery box, I think it is, doubling as a where you can use a USB connector. How's it going, Mayo? Thanks for joining in. I have some studs somewhere. Give me just a second. I'm gonna go grab some. don't have transparent ones, but I have lime green ones. Oops. Let's turn it down there. Well, yeah, Alexandria is right, I'd say. It's that whole thing about, yeah, we wanted something, but do we just, some people like to say just sit there and stew, or do we turn things around? And I think being able to turn things around and take things in a different direction is not something that we probably understand as kids or immature people, but it's the mature thing to do, I'd say. Yeah, that's Phil and Bricks knows what I'm talking about. All right. Well, Mayo, if I am still up, I will try and, well, I should be still up because it's going to be quite early, but I'll try and catch your live stream. So I think they should have included some studs in this lighting kit, but it's a part that most people are going to have anyway, so I guess I can forgive them. Now this connector here is going to attach to this wall, so I've got to take off this adhesive backing. Well, yeah, Hoarder, I am on Instagram. You can, well, anybody who wants to add me on Instagram, I am SilentMode TV. I will be very interested to see this bomb shelter of a Lego room that you have. And yeah, I've got to start using Instagram again, just posting my stuff. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing, because I've got my instructions here and it's covering half the screen. Maybe I should get myself another monitor. Oops. There we go. And before I forget, if you haven't seen, well, this is for the members of my channel. If you haven't seen the video I put out last night, I'm taking votes for the big rebuild, and it's a members vote this year. There are 5 shortlisted creations, and I'm really curious to see what gets chosen, if anything. So do your worst. I think that's that. Yep, that's right. Although this offsets this tile, unfortunately. I may have to consider shaving off a bit of that tile if I want to make it nice and snug. There's a bit too much space there at the moment. Or maybe I could, well, that'll do for now. I think there's not much more to go. Alright, got this USB connector, and we have this bad boy here, which are some more ports, and I guess we're going to connect everything up to this this port. Such tiny plugs. There we go. Alright, so now we just connect everything, and this is going to sit, I guess we can put this wall back. little bit of difficulty, but we can get there. Thanks for hanging in there, folks. Alright, so this thing is going to sit. I thought I broke something. This is going to sit up here. We're going to plug all these in first before we commit. Always appreciated. And yeah, this year I want to do a lot more supporting. I have to do a lot more promoting, but I have to do a lot of supporting as well. Excuse me. Have to work on clearing my throat. What were we talking about earlier? How much earlier? Right, so what were we talking? Hey Sean, hey Britain Bricks, how you doing? So I started with talking about not being excited about some of the new releases announced. Talking about Never Too Old's appearance on Click and Cliff. The idea of being a content creator that came up, and then pivoting when and if our first choice of career or whatever it is doesn't come through. You're stuck at work. Well, oh yeah, you do work at these hours. That's not a great situation to be in unless you enjoy being at work, but hope everything else is going all right. Right, that's all of them plugged in. I'm not going to stick this one just yet because I prefer anyway to see this working. You guys ready to see this working? Or maybe it's going to explode. In this case, you guys will get an exclusive. Okay, are we ready to see this in action? Alright, Alexandria's ready, which means everybody's ready. Let's see if I can plug this in. And if anything should happen to me, then I hate absolutely every one of you. Let's do this. Ooh. Okay, it works. Okay, this could have done a much more thorough job. Let me go and turn off the lights just a second. Right, so I didn't completely mess up after all. So here it is. This is what the lighting kit will look like, and you can see there's obvious gaps. I would be very, very tempted to rectify those with some other LEDs. So this thing is obviously designed to light up from the front. And of course it wouldn't be complete without some balls. We're all about balls here on Silent Mode Live. go. I think that's all of them. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Now I would change these out for cool white LEDs, because the warm whites kind of takes away from the black and white motif. Oh yes, Owen, I almost forgot. Since you were kind enough to make a super chat, which color duck would you like me to add to the box? It shouldn't affect the balls whatsoever. All right, so let me get the colors out. I think that's all of them. There's one missing. Yeah, that's it. These ones. So you probably can't see these properly, but okay, maybe if I hold them up over here. Which color do you want me to add? You said yellow. I've got, let me see, whoops, I have, this is a light green one, we've got a nice gold one, and we've got a not so nice gold one. Which one would you like? I don't have any yellow ones, funnily enough. But yes, let's give this a try actually. Okay, Owen wants the gold one. Thank you very, very much, Owen. So first off, I'll make some custom coins, and this is a white round tile with a white reverse round tile. You remember I've got a whole bunch of these medium stone grey ones from another model, and it doesn't affect the dispensing at all. There you go. Good to see you, Philin. Thank you very much for joining in. You have a blessed day as well, sir. Alright. So yeah, that is the lighting kit that's available on AliExpress. And again, there's a link in the description if you want to buy your own. I would make a few improvements to this. I'd probably keep the warm white LED for the tray. But for the rest of it, I would certainly have the LEDs covering the entire length as much as I can. Oh, actually the LEDs inside, they work quite well. I think these are more on the cool white side. Not sure if you can see the difference there, but I quite like that. But yeah, I would, as much as possible, have the lights covering the entire thing and not just viewing it from one side. But yes, in any case, this is finally out the way, and I do like Never Too Old's idea of taking this to a toy shop, for example, and offering people free gifts with a chance to win something big as a surprise. I'd have to give that some more thought, because I'd have to figure out a good way of approaching that idea, and obviously trying to find a willing toy store. But yes, I'm glad I finally got this out the way, and hope you guys have enjoyed watching this process. I'm going to call the end of the live stream here, and thank you guys for playing along once again. Always appreciated. And until next time, this has been SilentMode, maker, artist, and LEGO enthusiast. As usual, encouraging you all to do your thing.